welcome back to my blog. Chapter 11 I split into two parts. Self-education by good reading. Part 1. The character of a man expresses itself by the books he reads. Every well-informed man since the invention of printing has been a close reader of a few books that stand out from among the many. We read of Lincoln devouring the few books he had over and over again and studying from cover to cover and word for word the Webster's dictionary of his day. We know that Grant had his favorite volumes from which he drew inspiration and solace. These men made eternal friends of certain great thinkers and drank in their learning with all the fervor of their natures. A few good books digested well do feed the mind. Feed the mind, that's the idea, but how shall we feed it? The answer is easy, with something worthwhile, something that will inform and inspire. We can cram our minds to the point of indigestion with useless, frivolous information just as easily as we may cram our stomachs with certain foods that tear down rather than build up. The habit of reading the right sort of books should begin early in life and continue throughout our days. Good books are real, and as we read, we feel, hear, see, and understand in the way the author did. If what is said appeals to our way of thinking, a new world is unfolded to our vision, filled to the brim with things we can think about and add to our stock of knowledge. While we are buried in its leaves, we may live over the thoughts that the writer lived. For the time being, he becomes as real and vital to us as the dearest friends we possess. Gradually, as the time passes by, he creeps into our affections until our lives would not be complete without the comradeship of his cherished book. Books that become our pals are not necessarily books of the so-called classical type. Little-known volumes may prove to have enough thought stored away between their covers to keep us interested all our days. The great books will prove their worth in a short time, no matter how poor the binding, how bad the type, or how cheap the paper. These things are, after all, only the outward manifestations, and though we like to see our friends dressed well, yet we know that the clothes do not make character unless there is character there in the first place. And so it is with books. These little ungainly volumes which we purchase on the stands may be the classics of tomorrow. Who knows? We select our library carefully. No matter if we live in a tiny hall bedroom on the top floor of a boarding house, we have a shelf somewhere with a few good books on it. Emerson's essays can be in one volume and are well worth having. No other American writer has been so inspiring, so invigorating as this thinker of Concord. One cannot read his essays without having a desire to get up and do. It is like a breath of fresh air, a tonic, a stiff morning walk. It stirs the mind to action and inspires us to lift ourselves out of the rut into which we have fallen. One returns to them time after time, each reading opening up new vistas of thought, new lines of mental development. As a man's stomach is what he eats, a man's mind is what he reads. It goes without saying that no healthy, active mind could exist without the companionship of Shakespeare. Nowadays, it is possible to secure the entire works of the immortal poet in one volume. There is a special Oxford University edition which can be had for a small sum. The type is large, the paper good, and there are many notes to help one over the rocky places. There is no doubt of the truth of the saying that a man who reads Shakespeare consistently and with understanding needs no other education. Like the philosopher Emerson, he boiled down the world's thoughts into terse sentences, and one goes into a new universe when reading any of the plays. It is a good thing to learn parts of them by heart so that we can apply them to our own lives. They strengthen the mind. Their beauty lifts us into a great realism of splendid thought, and they fill the heart with a longing to do something great. Such books should become steady companions through life. No matter where our duties call us, we should see to it that we do not leave behind the thoughts of this master mind of Shakespeare. The very fact that we have them near us lifts us out of the monotony of nothing to do. And I don't know what else to do but make it a great day. And bye for now.